So, Bill, where were those exits again?
We wanted Warren to exit about an hour ago.
Keep practicing. You'll just do it right.
Oh, geez, the pay for this is really not bad.
You just got here.
Because I'm just going to be yakking anyway. I'm supposed to be so. Don't be light on that little left. Let's hear it. And the exits in the back here, the housekeeping exits is far in the back, but also we have some exits on the right as well. Hello, Larry. Larry, you don't need a program, do you? I guess you do. Larry, welcome. Welcome and happy birthday on behalf of all of your friends and a few of your enemies in that corner. You want to know why we're here? There are two major reasons why we came today. Number one is to celebrate your birthday. And the second is a little more complicated and more involved. So we took a survey of all the attendees, and we had reasons, two main reasons that we sat folks. One on this side of the audience and this side. The reason why these folks came was that they're wondering why you never cast them in any of your shows. And the people on this side, Larry, they want to know why the hell they were invited. They really have no value if they've not been in the show. Tom Wolfe, author Tom Wolfe, wrote, "You can never go home again." To some degree that's true, but today it's not true at all. You are home, this is your second home in the Brookfield Playhouse, and with all of your friends, and a couple of your enemies. This is a special reunion of all of your friends in the theater and a celebration of all that you've done for all of us. And we're very happy to have you here. In my view, Larry Stewart and the Brookfield Playhouse have always stood for something good, and that's important. When we started bringing folks in, Larry, they wanted to come. A couple of them we had a muscle in, but most wanted to come, and they were thrilled to be here, and we're all thrilled to be here. But there's more. We all kind of grew up here a little bit. We all came to the theater with some high ideals, or we were all nervous, not knowing what we were doing in trying to get into a show, or even understanding the theater in general. But after a while, under your direction, we learned. We learned how to take risk. We learned how to stumble. We learned how to fall. We learned how to get along. We fought with each other. We celebrated with each other. The blood left our heads when the opening night. All of those good things. And Larry was the force that kind of held us all together, and we're very happy to celebrate your birthday today. This place is not just a building up on a hill. It's really a place that really is very close to all of our hearts, and so is Larry Stewart. And what I loved about the Playhouse is that there's room for all of us, for everyone, no matter what your skill, whatever talent you had. They found a space for us, and we were able to learn and stumble, etc. But this was a home for many of us. So a little later on, you'll be chatting with each other about how wonderful you are and all what happened 30 years ago and the silly stuff that happened. But I'll share with you just one very brief note. I had done one play in my life, and I was 28 years old. And Larry said to me, "I'd like you to play Bobby in company." And I said to her, "Larry, that's a musical, isn't it?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, Larry, I only done one play, and I've never done a musical, and I really don't consider myself a singer, and I can't read music." And Larry looked me in the eye and said, "Don't worry about it. It's only sometime." So you can tell I've hated Larry ever since. It's always been a problem, but the good news is, ever since that day, whenever I've done anything, I've always felt that I'm all right. It's Larry's fault. I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. The cardboard trees, the painted scenes, the sound here. Yes, a world for us to rediscover, but we're not in any hurry, and we need some moment. The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways, the atmosphere as thrilling here as always. Feel the early morning madness, feel the magic in the making. Why, everything's as if we never said goodbye. We've spent so many years here just trying to assist you. We're trembling now, you can't know how. We've missed you, missed your fairy tale adventures in this ever-spinning playhouse. We were young together. You made us wear some makeup, the lights already burning. Not long before, our stomachs would stop turning. And the early morning madness, and the magic in the making. Why, everything's as if we never said goodbye. We didn't want to be alone, that's all in the past. We have waited long enough. You've come home, at last. And this time will be bigger and brighter than we knew it. So watch us fly, you know that we can do it. Can I stop my hand from shaking? Has there ever been a moment with so much to be grateful for? The whispered conversations in overcrowded hallways. So much to say, not just today, but always. Feel the early morning madness, feel the magic in the making. Why, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Larry, you taught us all new ways to dream. Ladies and gentlemen, a good friend of Larry's, one of Nancy Bowles.
Since I'm several years older than you, and because I need somebody to stand and hold my hand, because
Please let's get a drink. Working with Nancy, I need a drink.
and because I care so much about you, I felt an obligation to share some suggestions to aid and guide you through these golden years. Larry, you need a lot of help. And I couldn't find the right words to tell you. So I'm going to sing it. Were you aching last night? Was your trust feeling tight? Were you sorry you had to eat Tums? Your memory stray to that long ago day when you had all your teeth, not just gums. Does your belly keep sagging? Your butt need a lift. Spike your drink with Viagra. You really like that gift. See, you're old and quite gray. Can you hear what I say? Look around. We're a rare motley crew here for you. So don't depend on your depends. Just depend on your friends. Mary,
this is a presidential year, I know you're shocked over that. But we wanted to, I want to recognize some of the past presidents of the Brookfield Playhouse. Those folks have given all of their time, all of their creativity, and their management skill. And I'd like to, first by mentioning the founder of the Playhouse, one of the founders, Tilly Sakala, who has passed on now. She's in the big theater in the sky, and had her husband as well. Good folks. I remember just looking up at Tilly all the time, laughing all of the time. I think probably doing a dramatic scene. But certainly Marco, her son, and Pat Sakala Jr. are here today. So we wanted to recognize them. Thank you. Great names in our theater. Of course, Larry Stewart was also the president of the Playhouse, and we're here for him. He started back during the Civil War, and he's done a wonderful job. After following Larry was Imelda Roth, who was Imelda's good work. Part of her team was they added an addition annex, I guess they called it, in the back of the Playhouse. So it was a wonderful opening up of the back of our Playhouse, and all the credit to her and her team. The next was Bart Geisinger. And also David Tuttle followed Bart. Bart and David were also responsible for all the work and all the capitalization of the wing, the west wing, or the east wing, west wing, the lobby within the Playhouse. So they've done really a wonderful job. Michael Burnett, who is also the president following, I think, Bart. He's not here today, but we wanted to at least recognize Michael for all the work he's done over the last several years. And I want to introduce to you the current president of the Brookfield Playhouse, or the Brookfield Theater for the Arts. The name was changed, even though the heart is still here. Her name is Lou Ogle, and I'll introduce Lou, and she will introduce a very infamous and
I'm so honored to be here to celebrate your birthday with all these wonderful people. Thank you all so much for making our theater so beautiful with your presence. I have the honor of introducing our special guest for today, Mr. Stephen C. Dunn, the first selectman of the town of Brookfield. Stephen, could you please join us on stage?
Last time I was on a theater stage was 1975, and I was lured into I Sing, and my real intention was a dancer in the chorus, and I did date her, so that was a good thing. I'm the first selectman of Brookfield. For 5 days a week, I am the designated human piñata for the town. So people can yell at and have something to do with their days. Last week we had a rooster paper. Somebody stole somebody's rooster. A very difficult case. But it is a pleasure to be here, Larry. We haven't met before, but this is the best part of my job. Being able to come out, speak to people. And today, Larry, I am not going to sing this, folks. We have a proclamation, if I may be allowed to read it. Whereas Larry has been a resident of the town of Brookfield for most of his adult life, and whereas Larry was the first chairman of the Brookfield Arts Commission, which he served on for many years, and whereas Larry has volunteers at Brookfield all-volunteer nonprofit community theater, then called the Country Players, from 1963 through 1992, and during that time, he performed on stage, served backstage, directed plays, creating many wonderful cultural experiences with the greater Brookfield community. And whereas additionally, Larry taught for many years at Danbury High School and directed a number of shows with their theater department, encouraging creativity and art appreciation in the area of youth. And whereas Larry is well loved throughout the arts community in our region for his selfless work in promoting the arts in our town through his many volunteer hours. Therefore, on the occasion of Larry's 80th birthday, we thank him for his many contributions to making Brookfield, Connecticut such a wonderful place to live. Now therefore I, Stephen C. Dunn, First Selectman of the town of Brookfield, do hereby proclaim July 3rd, 2016, Larry Stewart Day. Sign it so it's official. Thank you very much, and Larry, happy birthday.
I would like the cast of thousands to come up that we rehearsed earlier. As most of you know, not most of you, most of you know that besides Larry's brilliant skills in musical direction and directing a play and a musical, he's always had a special skill that really we felt was really important for the success of the musical theater that shows that he presented. And that is in the weird area of choreography. Larry told me once that he worked under Balanchine, worked under Rudolph Nureyev, and worked under Bob Fosse. When I tried to research this and found that I went to his office and he had a picture of Fosse and Nureyev and Balanchine over his desk, I realized that's how he worked under me. So we thought tonight, since it's such a special event, that we would share some of Larry's choreography with you, with a few of the songs that we've all come to know and love from a few of the shows that Larry has directed. Number 1, Gypsy.
You'll be swell, you'll be great.
Cabaret.
What good is sitting alone in your room?
Carousel.
Kevin's busting out all over.
Company. Isn't it warm? Isn't it rosy side by side? And finally, Barnum. Bum, bum, bum,
Join the circus like you wanted to when you were a kid.
You're okay. We checked the board of directors minutes back in the 70s and 80s, and we found that there were 3 shows that Larry tried to put some dance choreography into that the board itself rejected. They weren't absolutely sure it was appropriate. So the first show was West Side Story. A boy like that will kill your brother. Streetcar Named Desire.
Stella!
That missed by 1 vote of the board. And finally, The Miracle Worker. I'd like to call Mrs. Lockup to the stage.
I would have it memorized, but I don't have it memorized, so I'm going to read. It says, "Hi everyone, it's so nice to see you all back in this wonderful place, which we all love, to honor our dear Larry on this very happy occasion. A special thank you to First Selectman Stephen Dunn for attending and presenting Larry with that wonderful proclamation. This began as a germ of an idea and was enthusiastically embraced by everyone I approached, from his children, Amy and David, to Lou, the current president of the Playhouse, and her board of directors. We have had more fun planning this and tracking you all down. And look at you all, some local, some a little bit farther, and our real travelers from California, Florida, North Carolina, Colorado, Delaware, and Texas. Isn't that wonderful? I need to thank the committee, and I use the term committee very loosely because we were really more like a group of old friends sitting around, talking, reminiscing, and laughing a lot. Bill McGee jumped right in with all his managerial skills, and where is Bill? I could not have done this. I really could not have done this without him. He was just wonderful. Bill Passadento and Joe Esposito helped to find people. Helen Masterson Bouchard graciously took over the food and the party planning. Gail Painter, who unfortunately can't be with us today, but who is Larry's dear friend and was enormously helpful to me on the phone. And then there is our dear Joanne, who is once again tickling the piano for us, tickling the ivories for us, and of course, our talented performers. Lou actually, I have to give her credit for this, Lou actually picked this date because she knew it had been designated as Connecticut Open House Day. She and her board have been more than accommodating in making this venue available to us, going above and beyond providing photography, lighting, and board members to help us in any way that they can. The printing business that she and her husband Andy own produced the invitations. Marion Miller beautifully addressed all of the invites that were sent out by mail, and those of you who received them by mail could appreciate how beautifully they were addressed. I thank you one and all, and if I missed anyone, I apologize. Lastly, we can stay here all afternoon, but they do have an improv plan for tonight. I have reserved the community room where I live here in Brookfield, and we can spill over to that location and continue the party. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. I want everyone to enjoy, and happy birthday, dear Larry. I'm so
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun,
Let's eat. Let's eat.
Thank you.
She doesn't know if next week or not, so she checks. Put it on the schedule.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Frankie's back here reading a career. Right, yes. Some people could There's no birthday cake, but there are cupcakes. Oh, no, that's a real cake. No, what I meant was we didn't get a giant sheet cake or anything. That's what they did. This is the invitation. And this is what I
No, I didn't say a word.
Ha ha ha.